think we're all autistic.
This will not do well with comments in the middle of it, I just want to say.
Alright.
I will warn you at the outset that this is going to take some time. You probably already figured that already.
Yeah.
That got 50 years already, so.
I tried to edit it, but have failed utterly. 50 years is a long time, after all. It is also given exclusively from my perspective as a witness to 50-plus years of love. So bear with me. So there was this guy. He was often there when we put you back to college.
Yes.
Even when you were home in the summer, he kept coming over to see you. It was apparently a big deal because I was told that he had to drive a long way. But you seemed to like him and he didn't seem too bad. Mom kept telling me to go spend some time with you both.
Yes, you did.
She was sure that you would like to see my cowboy guns or toys.
Yeah.
You seemed less interested than Mom had anticipated. Jack would stay for a little while and then disappear again. I didn't really pay much attention until it appeared that there was going to be a wedding at some point, and that seemed to make everyone very busy. I was really annoyed at your getting married.
Yes, you were. Yes,
You were ruining a perfectly good summer that, from my perspective, had just started hitting its stride. There were all sorts of people I didn't know coming to the house, and I was supposed to be a good boy and not embarrass the family. It was worse than the quota club. On top of that, I had to get fitted for a suit.
Yes.
I had to put on very uncomfortable shoes. And worst of all, I had to comb my hair.
You.
I'm going to hit you right now.
There's a lot of it.
There seemed to be a whole lot of dinners that either I could go to but didn't want to, or couldn't go to and wondered why.
Yeah.
I had a sneaking suspicion that the ones I couldn't go to were the ones that were fun. And then everything changed. It was the night of one of those dinners that I couldn't go to, your rehearsal dinner. Just a short number of hours before your wedding. The phone rang, and I was the first one to run into the dining room to see what was going on. The dining room is the only place there was a phone. Our grandmother hustled into the room telling me that she would get it. She didn't say very much, but even as an 8-year-old, I could figure out that something was wrong. She hung up and turned to me and said, "Your other grandmother has died." From that moment, and for the next many days, all I knew was that it was no longer about me, but very much about Mom and you and Jack. Do you ever wonder why I was behind you at the church door, picking up the first wedding gown train I had ever seen? I had to do something, and it seemed like a good place to start. I don't remember ever going to a wedding before yours. The church part was pretty standard, at least what I remember church being like at the time. Mom seemed a little distant, but also very kind, and doing her best to make sure you were okay. I also remember Dad walking around on eggshells watching Mom. I still remember the Lord Amherst Hotel and that ballroom and reception. In the following years, I never went by the hotel without thinking about the two of you. The older I got, the more I appreciated just how difficult that day was for Mom, and how mixed the emotions must have been for both of you. What I do remember from that day is how everyone made it as special as possible for both of you. I remember you heading away from the reception and how a great deal of light and air left the room with you. It gets better from here.
I hope so.
I've been told people that you used to be my sister.
Oh, yeah, well, that was weird.
I decided it would be a great idea to take over what I now thought of as your vacant room. This was the first of many times in the following years where I gained a real appreciation of what a great thing it was when you two got married. And I will say that the criteria improved over time. I don't recall anything about the Philly years. I suspect Mom and Dad only talked about that period among themselves. They did that, you know, about everyone, I came to learn. I do recall Thanksgivings in Rocky Hill. My main recollections are of a tight space with all those people.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad proud of what you were building, warm family dinners, and Jack gamely tolerating an increasingly annoying preteen brat. What was clear way back then, though, was that like my childhood reliance on Mom and Dad, the two of you were in it for the long haul. I remember your first house, and how proud Mom and Dad talked about the life you were building. I remembered feeling that the conversations between them in the long car ride back to Buffalo no longer carried the level of worry about whether things would turn out okay. And then everything changed again. John.
Bratty John.
Not only was it clear to anyone who was paying even a minute of attention that the two of you loved each other very much and that you were building a successful life together, but then you go and trump yourselves by carrying on a lineage that ran well past the junior moniker right on to the fourth.
I had a great deal of you.
And I got to be an uncle.
Yes.
In the short time you had been married, I had doubled my age and now got a title that someone knew me by other than the brat who sat between us while we were dating. Mom and Dad were ecstatic. A grandchild.
Yeah.
You had now moved from the cute newlywed couple stage to a full-fledged family. The pictures from that time say it all. They show two proud parents, beaming grandparents, and an inexperienced but amazed uncle. Every picture has someone with a wide grin or laugh and show John being wrapped in the warmth of a family, amazed at how wonderful this whole experience had become. You can almost hear everyone thinking just how blessed they were at that very moment. The pictures of Mom and Dad playing with John are some of the most tender and wonderful photos of any of our family. As it turned out, John would be the only grandchild that would grow up with memories of either Mom or Dad as vibrant grandparents. You gave them an experience unique for them and our family. A grandchild that would remember them and their legacy and be able to tell firsthand stories about them. As years went by, more grandchildren would arrive, but none at a time so precious and vital to both of them. And the Thanksgiving dinners continued. By now, there was no real discussion as to where we were going for Thanksgiving, and there never would be again. These dinners, begun in Rocky Hill and continued in every home you have made, have been a foundation of our family, filled with love and laughter, history lessons and toasts, the occasional serious discussion, and a great deal of family coming together in thanks. Your first house was also the place I came to visit by myself as a college student.
Yes, you did.
I helped move out wine barrels, had bluefish dinners that I still remember as the best of their kind, and came to appreciate that you and Jack had a love that was something special. By then, I had known friends of divorced families, fractured families, and constantly arguing families. I had begun to wonder if Mom and Dad were unique in their marriage. Coming to see you, spending time with both of you in a more informal way than a holiday setting, helped me see that marriage between two people who loved one another the way you did was possible in more than just one household. The years went by and settled into a routine of family holidays, visits during the summer, and John growing up. Jack gained prominence in his job and then became the owner of his job. I remember Mom and Dad worrying about the move towards ownership. They were concerned about the risk. Then Dad said that every time he left a job, it was to go to a better paying job, and this seemed like the same thing to him. They were very proud of what you both were building. I think it reminded them a great deal of how it was for them decades before in starting hometown. Over the years, our relationship changed as well. Some of the barely tolerable brat was going away,
Yes.
and we were settling into the brother-sister love and respect that had been hidden by a 13-year gap all that time. At the same time, the in-law portion of the brother-in-law I had gained those many years before disappeared. And I was overjoyed to discover that, in fact, I had an older brother as well as an older sister. When Mom and Dad got older, this became even more apparent as we functioned as a true family unit on their behalf, if not always with their permission. The love and devotion you showed towards each other was an example that Beata and I tried to mirror in our own way. It was natural and good to be part of a family where married couples spent their time helping one another, respected one another, and loved one another. I remain in awe of that love and support for each other and your family. Managed in such an offhand and natural manner, it was just the way life was lived. Not always easy, almost never a straight path, but a road traveled with love, respect, and recognition of the importance of each other and those you loved together. So one might reasonably ask, what have these 50 years wrought? What is the legacy? To be sure, it is still being built, but already has a long and sturdy past. It is a true legacy of two people who have loved each other, grown with each other, supported each other, as well as those they have brought into this world and those who have joined them in it. Mom and Dad started a family, filled it with love, hard work, and joy. You have continued and grown that love, added your hard work, and contributed more than your share of joy to all that have had the privilege of walking with you at any point in these 50 years. You know, you really don't need our congratulations. The reality of the life you have built together, the home you have made simply through the joy of being near you, the family you have given birth to, nurtured, and sustained, is more testament to your success in a loving marriage than any simple congratulations could validate. It is then with the recognition that anything I might have said to this point is insignificant in comparison to the life you have and continue to live, that I offer my most heartfelt thank you. Thank you for letting me watch the past 50 years of a remarkable union. Thank you for showing me the way to open your heart to another. Thank you for showing all of us what it means to love and be loved. Happy anniversary.
Oh, that is beautiful. I gotta get over to him. I gotta give him a hug. Oh man, that was beautiful.